What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here in this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, I wanted to take another look at vouchers and offer an alternative idea to how they could be implemented and utilized in the world of Splinterlands. Now, obviously, I know this is probably falling on mostly deaf ears because we as a community, as a project team, like we're just so far into the situation now with vouchers. And I would say that it's probably impossible or very, very highly improbable that it's actually going to change in terms of, switching from one system to another. So this is more so just a thought experiment out there. Maybe for anybody that's looking to start a project somewhat similar to Splinterlands, maybe they could take this approach if they wanted to have an access token similar to vouchers. So as it stands right now, we're printing a ton of vouchers every day, 20,000 that goes out to SPS stakers and another 20,000 that goes out to node license holders. So that is 14.6 million vouchers every year, of which the team has to find ways to utilize them. My issue with this is it puts a lot of pressure on the team to find ways to utilize them and to have, to create these ongoing syncs when, the syncs aren't really that necessary if you think about it, right? Where I would go with this, and if I was to redesign it from the top down, I think SPS staking and even node licenses, however you want to do it. SPS staking is probably the easier one because you could do a snapshot over time. Node licenses, I don't think that they should have access to vouchers, but that's a whole separate topic. But when you think about SPS staking and what the requirements are for that, my thought process is, well, why don't you just do it where you take a snapshot that takes like the average of the entire year and only give out vouchers when there's something worth giving vouchers for. So what do I mean by that? Okay, well, let's imagine there were no vouchers in the system now. Well, upcoming, we do know that Rebellion is planned for later this year. And let's say the team wants to do something similar to Chaos Legion where they have the first million packs available for sale as part of the pre-sale. And therefore, they want to use 1 million vouchers. Well, you can announce on a certain date that, hey, on this date, we're going to take a snapshot of the past we'll just say the full year, right? Past 365 days. And at that point, right, whatever your average SPS is, you will get your share of vouchers for X, Y, or Z, right? And again, it could be for a bunch of different things. Whenever they have a new, whenever they have a new promo card or a new set launch or, it could be anything that would require vouchers. They can predetermine how many vouchers there are going to be and then just give those out to the SPS stakers on a rolling basis. Now, that would still incentivize people from the get-go to stake your SPS as early as possible. And in that way, at least you're earning SPS on it. But moving forward in the future, and I'm kind of switching gears here, I'm actually wondering, and I know people might disagree with this, but I'm actually wondering if we should get away from rewarding SPS staking with SPS. And what I mean by that is at some point, the DAO is going to run out of SPS to give as staking rewards. And so, yes, we're collecting rewards right now across the board. We're collecting SPS right now across the board so that we can replenish these rewards for battles, for guilds, for licenses, for liquidity pools, all of that, so that at the end of the 65 months, each of these respective things will have a new pool that can filter in. Well, I would say that what we really should do is try to incentivize and kind of specialize SPS staking versus node licenses. So you know how I feel. I don't really like vouchers being given out to node licenses. So at that point in time, the node licenses should incentivize giving out more SPS, whereas staking SPS should be one of the only ways that you get vouchers. Again, I had this idea for the GLG side, and you can see here, right? It's happening to both Splinterlands and then, of course, Genesis League goals. GLGT is about to be under a penny right now, and this is kind of what spurred the idea for me, because it's like, why did we start printing GLGT for Genesis League goals? It actually makes no sense because there's nothing like available. I guess there were packs, right, available, but there's nothing available like in game that would require it. And I don't know. It seems like, especially now, we're at a point where, the assets or the tokens being given out they just don't have any value because the demand isn't really there. So once again, I'm saying this in the sense of like, I don't want to put extra pressure on the team. They already have so much going on that by forcing them to create new syncs, right? Like, for example, we're going to get this new voucher reroll or focus reroll with vouchers in the upcoming maintenance window. I mean, that's cool and all, but I would rather the team focus on other things. I mean, yes, reroll would have been nice and a good use case for vouchers, but you could also just have used, if you really wanted to, you could just use DEC and burn DEC for it. So again, I'm just kind of putting this idea out there and hopefully maybe someone will hear it and massage it and make it worthwhile and maybe put some kind of, some kind of proposal in the future on how we should approach vouchers. But at this point in time, it just doesn't seem like there's enough use cases for it. And obviously the price kind of reflects that. So I really think genuinely to make it easier for the team so that they're not under this pressure to always have something, just give them out, take a snapshot, 365 days, whatever it is, and then give them out whenever it's needed, whenever it's necessary for a new set, for a promo card, for whatever, new launches that the team has. Now, will we end up maybe with a ton of vouchers anyway, right? For example, right, if a year ago they had said, hey, we're going to do 3 million vouchers, we're going to give out 3 million vouchers for Rift Watcher packs, right? And you're required to use a voucher for Rift Watcher packs. Well, we've burned a good amount of Rift Watcher packs already. So there would be extra vouchers kind of sitting around. There still could be some voucher inflation, but it wouldn't be nearly as bad as it is now. You can see we've printed, almost 25 million vouchers. I have no idea how many we've burned. So again, it's just, I know I'm rambling a little bit now, but my hope is that we can find a better way to use and utilize vouchers in the system without putting extra pressure on the team to create these syncs for a token that shouldn't even have like value in the first place, right? It's supposed to be an access token given to players, and the only way that like an access token is going to have any kind of value is if it's super exclusive. Like so much so that if I'm staking enough SPS and I'm getting it, I want to use it because I want access to it, or I'm going to sell that access for a pretty penny rather than, a couple of pennies. So that's where my head is at with vouchers. Just thought I'd share it here with you guys. Would love to get your feedback on it, but that's all I got. Have an amazing rest of your day. I'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.